Hi guys, welcome back to Chops Garage. For those of you who don't watch my channel, Hi guys, welcome back to Chops Garage. For those of you that don't watch my channel, I run a small used car dealership. These are mine in here. All that out there is mine. And then we have a second unit full of stuff next door as well. And my channel is all about obviously letting you know what it's like day to day trading cars, the real side of trading cars. And I think we're going to have a new feature, and that is Dealer Dilemma. So, those of you I say that watch the channel regularly will remember a little while ago I bought a 2007 Toyota RAV4 from the main dealer Part Exchange Yard. Now the reason I bought the car was it was low mileage. Can't remember exactly how low, but it was low mileage. It was the 2.2 diesel, was it? I think it was. I don't know an awful lot about those cars. But it was super clean. It was low owners, super clean, really nice car. And when I got it, I said I was going to trade it out to another trader because I didn't do cars that old. New subscribers, I'm going to blame you now, said, James, no, you should really sell it onto a consumer because it's a really nice car. So I did. I put the car up for sale and it sold like that. Now the reason for that might be that the list price for the car was 4,495. I put it up for 3,995 and it went super quick. I had loads of phone calls. Loveliest couple came and bought the vehicle, local couple came and bought the vehicle, loved it to bits. I drove it for a day beforehand. They took it for a long test drive. It had 8 months MOT left on it, I think it was. So what we did is put it down the road and had a safety check done on the vehicle before we sent it out the door, just to make sure everything was okay on it, but we didn't put a new MOT on it. But they did, you know, same sort of check on it. And they were happy that everything was okay down there. And the guys came and picked the vehicle up and away they went. Now, I didn't hear anything for a couple of days, but then I had a message to say that unfortunately the ABS light had pinged up on it. But he said it had gone out again. And what we're going to do is basically monitor it and see what happens, because don't know how long the vehicle had been sitting, whether it was just, you know, a bit of dirt or rust on the ring, or I don't know what it might be. I didn't hear anything again for another week or so, but I did say, obviously, I sent the car out with a warranty. So even though it was 2006, I sent it out with a warranty-wise cover, which is bronze. Now, obviously, on a car that age, they won't cover an awful lot, but I gave them the bronze cover, put it up to £50 an hour labour rate, so they could use it at any garage with £50 an hour labour rate. I think I gave them 3 months bronze warranty cover on that. Now, again, people have advised me against doing that on cars that age, because obviously there's no legal requirement to put any warranty on a vehicle, because it's covered by the Consumer Rights Act anyway. But the older ones, you have to be a bit tougher on them, because it's much more likely something's going to go wrong. And obviously even the Consumer Rights Act does allow for age of the vehicle, and it only covers faults that were present at the point the vehicle was taken away, not faults that are developed through normal use, as in wear and tear items that become faulty during normal use. So a warranty is kind of over and above that. Anyway, I've covered that enough in my video, so if you want to know any more about it, go back over my previous videos. Anyway, so the car went out, I heard nothing for another week or so, and then I had a call from Moores down the road who said the car is booked in to have the ABS light looked at because it's popped up again. So that's absolutely fine. I told them to use them if they have a problem with it, and they can get it booked in and get it sorted, because I don't do mechanics myself. Being a one-man band, everybody would be held up massively if I had to have a look at everything. Nothing would get done. So I went down to them and I said, okay, give me a report back on what's happening. But because I hadn't heard from the customer directly, I messaged them as well. I said, I know you've got the car booked in down there, everything okay? He said, yeah, it's going down for the ABS light, but I think there's a problem with the exhaust now as well. It's got a bit noisy. So this is probably, where are we now? Getting on 3 weeks, I think, 3 weeks on. Yeah, so I think it was actually 3 weeks when they booked in for the ABS. They said, yeah, the exhaust has got a bit noisy now as well. Sounds like a blow, which I thought at the end of the day, not the end of the world. If it's down there and the ABS thing sorted out, perhaps some more guys can sort of patch the exhaust if it's a little blow, because obviously the car wasn't blowing when it went out the door. It wasn't blowing when I drove it. It wasn't blowing when they drove it and they test drove it and they took it away. And it hadn't been flagged in the safety check. So obviously it's something that's happened afterwards as they've been using the vehicle. It could have been some rot there, but nobody spotted, and obviously it's blown out as they've used it, I don't know. So I said, well, okay, get the guys to check that out while it's down there as well, and I'll come back to you on it. I always say at the end of the day to all of my customers, the warranties have to be in writing, they have to be written down, but common sense prevails. If it feels like it's a fair thing to do, but it isn't catered for by the warranty. We'll do it because good customer service is most important for me in a local area like this, North Devon. Getting good reviews, getting recommendations is the key thing, over and above saving a few quid what they'd have charged me just to put a little patch on an exhaust or something. Wouldn't necessarily replace the whole thing with new on a car that age. If a patch sorted it out for the customer and kept it going, then we'd do that. So, sent it down the road. I've popped down to Moore's today to see about something else, and they've got the RAV4 in there. Now, unfortunately, it turns out it's more serious. It turns out, one, the ABS thing isn't just a simple ABS ring, because they can't find the fault. They're driving it around, they're not getting that fault at all. What I have done is pulled up a code for a brake switch problem in the brake pedal, which we don't think is what's going to be causing an ABS issue. So they've swapped that switch out because obviously it's a fault, it's coming up as faulty. Maybe comment down below if you know if that can throw an ABS problem at all, the switch. But they've driven the car loads and loads and not able to replicate the fault at all. And obviously we can't put a claim with the warranty company until we know what the fault actually is. But the worst news is they've had a look at the exhaust system, and unfortunately the hole is on the catalytic converter. So again, you think, okay, possibly you could patch that up, or worst case scenario, you're going to have to replace the cat. Now the guys down the road say that actually replacing the cat is the option. The problem with it is, apparently according to the book, that's an 8-hour job to change the catalytic converter on a 2007 RAV4 with a diesel engine. The Toyotas, do you know what, it's interesting, with Toyotas people talk about being uber reliable, and they are good cars, but all of the Toyotas I've sold have suffered some form of CAT or emissions issue. They seem to have problems with that side of things. I don't know what it is, but then again, it's not really a problem, is it? How old is that car now? It's 16 years old. So the exhaust system's 16 years old, and it has been replaced at some point. So sooner or later, that was going to need to be replaced, which is why warranties don't cover exhaust systems. I don't suppose they do even on new cars, I wouldn't have thought. So it's a bit unfair saying it's a Toyota problem. But yeah, the only problem I've ever had with Toyotas is relating to catalytic converters or sensors. So apparently it's an 8-hour job to swap that out, which means on the books with the parts, £725 plus the VAT. Now that makes that deal not worth doing. That makes that deal not worth doing on that car at all. You don't make fat margins on cars at 3,995 to the point where you can drop, you know, £725 plus VAT on a repair. So what do? I mean, firstly, it's not covered by the warranty, because the warranty from Warranty Wise doesn't cover the exhaust system. My warranty doesn't cover the exhaust system because I also have my own warranty paperwork in the background as well, double bubble. But they have only had the car for 3 weeks. So comment down below, guys. Those dealers out there, what do you think the score is with this scenario? Members of the public, what would your expectation be if you bought a car and it had a blow after 3 weeks and it needed a catalytic converter? What would your expectation be? So let's pause for a second, comment down below. I want to know what you would do, and then I will go on and let you know what I've done. I hope you're all typing away now. And while you're doing that, check down below, are you subscribed? Because over 60% of you aren't actually subscribed to the channel. I don't know if there's some misunderstanding here. Subscribing to the channel costs nothing. It's absolutely free to subscribe to the channel. All it does is help the channel. So check down below, make sure you've got the bell ticked to get notifications, and make sure that you're highlighted as subscribed. It'll be a massive favour to me. Right, so hopefully you've written down below now what you would expect in that scenario, because it is actually genuinely important to me to know from somebody's point of view outside of the business what your expectation would be. Now imagine there's a lot of you saying, I'd expect it to be done free of charge, straight off the bat. I don't care how old the vehicle is. I don't care how much I paid for it. I'd expect it to be done. I imagine there's others saying, well, if it's not covered by warranty, it's not covered, so you don't get it done. The question is obviously whether this is considered a fault with a 14-year-old car. Is it considered a fault that the exhaust system gets a blow or not? So what did I do? Well, obviously Moore's rang the customer and quoted them £725 to do the repair, plus let them know what the cost of fixing the switch was. Now the switch I cover, because it's a faulty switch, definitely, flagged early on. Must have been an existing fault that we missed somehow when we were driving it. So I'm going to get the switch and hopefully that fixes it, but I don't think it will because I don't think the switch is related to the ABS. But again, tell me below if you're right or not. Tell me if I'm right on that or not. So they'd spoken to the customer, and obviously the customer's just sitting there thinking, they'd already asked me, they'd emailed and said, is the exhaust system covered under warranty? And I said no. So at that point I didn't know what the fault was, but I said, look, at the end of the day I might be able to get it fixed for you, trade, and then you know, thinking it might just be the little patch. Anyway, so they've had the call from Moores, they've had the quote for £725. So I emailed him, say, give me a ring to discuss it, because I've now obviously found out it's the catalytic converter, and now he's been told it's a catalytic converter. He messaged me back and said he couldn't do that, he was too busy working at that point, so I didn't want to leave him hanging. So I emailed him back and I said to him, look, at the end of the day, I said, it's really unfortunate it's a catalytic converter. It's unfortunate it wasn't picked up in the safety check, because what I would have done at that point is refunded you your deposit, and I would have put the car up at full retail for the 495 after doing the repair. Because when we sold the car to him, we did have a discussion that the value was 495. He said I came down straight away because I knew it was well underpriced. He said, so that's why I came down straight away, and I had other people that did want the vehicle. So he knew it was underpriced. We had an open discussion about it, and I said, well, as far as I was concerned, I just wanted to sell the car, you know, quickly. I don't like to sit on stuff. And as far as I was concerned, there was nothing wrong with the vehicle, so I was probably rose tinted glasses. I didn't think I would have to spend any more out on it, so I could let somebody else have it cheap. And that's why you can't let people have a car cheap because you got it cheap, because there's other cars that you might lose money on, and you need those ones that make the higher margin to cover your losses. Anyway, so I emailed him back and said that, you know, that obviously we had a discussion, and I would have put it up, I'd done the fix, I'd have refunded your deposit, put it back at 495, and if you 495, and if you still wanted it, then we could have gone ahead with the new catalytic converter in it and so forth. I said, so the options as far as I'm concerned, and this is my mindset on it, I think it's too soon him having the vehicle for it not to potentially have been an existing fault when the vehicle went out. Now I know it was an existing fault because we didn't hear it blowing on his test drive when I drove it, and I know he's since then used the vehicle for a couple of weeks, but it's just too soon for me for someone to be lumbered with a bill like that. Now obviously he could drive around with it blowing, making a noise everywhere, but that isn't going to be very nice, is it? Sooner or later it's going to have to get replaced. So I said to him, I said, a couple of options. I said, one, I refund you in full, take the vehicle back, do the repair, put it back up at full price. I said, and I wasn't even going to knock any mileage off for his use of the vehicle, because it's just too soon, you know, and it's a headache for him having to bring the car back. So I just taken it back, done that fix, and then resold it, or sold it as a known fault at a cheaper point. Either way, I probably make the same margin fixing it with a higher price point, or selling it cheaper with the known fault but not doing the fix. So I said to him, that's option number one. I said option number two, I said, is I will do a 60-40 split with you. I'll do a 60-40 split with you. I think when I worked out the maths of it, I forget exactly what it was, but I think I said he would have to pay 225 and I paid the rest of it. So I can claim the VAT back obviously as well, so that can save him some money. I said, so if you want to keep the vehicle, I said, I'm offering you a full refund because it's uneconomical for me to do the repair. So I'm offering you a full refund, and in my terms it does say if the repair is uneconomical, I'll offer you a full refund. So he'll be whole, he wouldn't lose out at all. I said, but if you like the vehicle and you want to keep it, because it is a super clean one, it is a low mileage one, it's exactly what you wanted, it isn't a rot box like most of them are around here at that age. I said, you can pay 25% of the repair, and we'll go ahead and get it done. Now bear in mind, I still don't know what the ABS issue might be. I might end up throwing a load of cash at the ABS issue as well, even after doing this. So I sent the email across to the chap. Again, comment down below, what do you think of the options I gave him? Do you think they're fair? I'm always interested to hear what you guys have got to say. Some of you that are new to the channel as well. So I gave him that option, emailed it across to him because, like I say, he was too busy to talk on the phone. He's just emailed back and said that he would like to go ahead with the repair on the offer I've done. And from the way he's worded it, I think he's pretty happy. He says he's had a bit of bad luck with big bills on cars recently, and the fact that I've made that offer has taken a weight off of his mind, because he thought he was going to have to foot the whole thing. So that's how it looks like it's going to go ahead. Now obviously I'm still down, I'm still having to pay the vast majority of that bill. I think if I pay that, and then with the ABS issue, I might be lucky to break even on that car. Hopefully the way I'm dealing with it will get me sales though. It will get me sales locally from recommendations. But yeah, like I said, we'll call it Dealer Dilemma Corner. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. As I said, always interested in your feedback. What have I learned from this? I've learned that really I do need to be sticking to like 2012 stuff and newer. The older stuff just, it's getting to that end of life, and as a dealer you cannot sell that stuff and be on the hook for repairs going forwards. It's just too old. There's just too many potential faults to come up. If you're going to be the hook for every repair, you just simply can't afford to do it. Now obviously if I was a tougher dealer and just said, you know, computer says no, warranty says no, I'd retain profit in that car and it'd be profitable to carry on doing cars like that. But I don't think I'm going to get anywhere doing that. I don't think I'll get a good business name. I don't think I'll be able to build a good reputation. And I think that will, you know, kneecap me in the long run into building the kind of business I want to have. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Much appreciated. Catch you again soon.